Phonetics was one of the harder classes, and I'm asked all the time what I did to study and how I studied and if I have any tips. So I figured I would share with you what I did, and it honestly is the only reason why I passed that class. So this is an example of what one of my note cards looks like. On it, I have VPM for voice, place, and manner, and then in the middle, I have the transcribed sound. So in this case, I think it's backwards for you, but this is a P. And then on the back, I have a blank because I want to try and figure out what it is, and I wrote voiceless, labial, stop. And then on this side, I wrote what that means. So voiceless is the vocal cord. You know, what are they doing? Are they vibrating? Are they not? Labial is the point of contact between your articulators. So that one, labial, is the lips. And then stop is the interaction between articulators. The reason I did it this way and didn't put what the answer was on here is because if I'm going from this side, I know what the answer is. I know it's P. But then what I also would do is I would flip my note cards around while I was studying them. So I would start on this side and I would see voiceless, labial, stop, and I would try and fill in what that blank was. And then on this side, I could see what the answer was. I thought being able to do it both ways like that was really helpful, not only in terms of figuring out what I need to put on both sides of the cards so that they can be interchangeable, but so that if you're given on a test, voiceless, labial, stop, you can know what that is without having to see what the phonetic transcription was. So I would also do it for distinctive features, and on this one I have stop, and then on the bottom I put examples, and I put a line for each of the examples that I'm going to have on the back. So on the back I have what a stop is, and that's the complete vocal tract closure where the pressure builds up and leads to a sudden release of constriction. So that's kind of like that burst. And then on the bottom the examples, so P, B, T, D, K, and G, and that's the same amount sounds as I have on the front, so that if I'm going from the front and I only get, 4 of these, I know there's still more and I can think of what they might be. They're just cards that I made right now, but while I was in phonetics in undergrad, I actually ended up color coding a manner because that one was the hardest for me to remember. So in this case, I would have had the P in, a certain color, say pink. And pink meant stop. So on stop, for this card, I would have had everything done in pink as well, so that my brain could associate the color pink with stop and so on and so forth. I pretty much took these cards with me everywhere I went.